Battle Culture 101. We back with another one. Quick turnaround again. We're going to jump right into it today. What is a classic? What makes a battle a classic? This is another term I hear just getting tossed around loosely throughout the culture. Everybody calling every battle that drop a classic. You got league owners labeling battles classic rap battle on YouTube. You got league owners saying classic, 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 classic. So what really make a battle a classic? By definition, classic is judged over a period of time to be the highest quality or outstanding of its kind. So my criteria for a classic, of course, test of time. The battle got to stand the test of time. Your battle can't be out for 2 days and you call it a classic. I mean, sometimes you can know like the trajectory, kind of what you think is gonna be. Like, you can like an instant classic sort of, but for the most part, it got to stand the test of time. I would say you got to give it at least maybe a year to see if people even still rocking with it after that time. See if it's still getting talked about. A lot of stuff be here today, gone tomorrow. Like you hear about it today is good for the moment. Next thing you know, nobody even talking about it no more. Next, we got quality. And when I say quality, I mean like a lot of people say you need 6 fire rounds. Like every round, that's not true. Every round don't have to be top notch for it to be classic. Classic, you could have 5 of the 6 rounds be super high quality, like 10 out of 10, like A+ material, and the battle could be a classic with that last other round just being regular or having a choke, like something like that. So you don't need 6 amazing rounds to have a classic. It just has to be really, really, really good material, like very, very potent, high quality material. The quality got to be really good. And last, I'm going to say impact. The battle has to have some sort of impact on a culture, on a league, for a battler's career, something along those lines. Like if the battle is just a battle and it's just a good battle, that's fine. But that's what sets just good battles and classics apart from one another. So impact, quality, and test of time. And again, like it don't even have to be all three, but you got to have some of the components or hit some parts of that on the head. So I remember like a time a few years ago when Writer's Block was popping, and they would just go around battling each other in these small leagues and like these small rooms or whatever, and they would be having these bar fests, right? So on these bar fests, many people will be just labeling these battles a classic. So you have like Danny Myers versus Danger Zone or Big Cannon versus JC, something like that. Just grab any two random Writer's Block dudes, put them together, and people calling it a classic. Do I consider that a classic? Not even a little bit. Like none of them battles really was classics. They don't really hold no meaning or no value. It's nothing behind it. It's just two dudes. They rapping good, but and then even some of that quality, like it's not even that high. It's just two dudes that can really rap good. Like nobody talk about none of those battles today. So a lot of them didn't stand the test of time. It wasn't that long ago, only a few years ago, probably like 3-4 years ago. So the test of time is like, nah. The impact is like, I mean, you could say they had a little impact, like they got people, like they got the pen going, but even that, like, nah, I wouldn't even consider them classics either. So, I mean, I wouldn't consider that a real, like, big impact on the culture or having an imprint on a specific league or battler's career to consider it a classic. So, I'm gonna run down a few battles that I would consider like definite classics, and I'm gonna give you a little bit reason why I would consider it a classic. And number one, I'm gonna say Arsenal and Conceited. This is about 10 years ago. This the impact on this battle is crazy. Like you can look at the numbers. The numbers on there is crazy. This is like this is a battle where most people where they started watching battle rap from. So when that battle came out, I think I was 13 years old, 10 years ago when that dropped. And I remember like being glued to YouTube, watching this battle over and over and over, calling up all my friends. We talking about it over and over. And that's something we still could like talk about to this day. Like, and that's something that just like it rejuvenated battle rap and made like the battle rap scene what it is today. So shout out to Grind Time for putting that one on, and them two for making that classic. Like, and the quality in it was crazy, especially for the time. I mean, if you go back to it today, with how much battle rap has changed, it's like some of the stuff is a little bit like, I mean, you could consider it outdated, but it is 10 years ago. But the quality at the time, and what I say, it stood the test of time, yeah, because that's still an amazing battle. It's just back and forth, back to back, jokes, bars, angles. They give you everything, personality. It's just an overall great battle. What's another classic? What's another classic? We gonna go with Av versus Rum Nitty. That's a classic battle, just based on what it meant for both of their careers. Now we got two people that's like gonna go down in the books, and this was like, I wouldn't say it's the start of it, but this is a pivotal battle in both of their careers. This battle was like the quality of it, like all 6 rounds, the material fresh, like that's just a classic battle. Another classic battle. Of course, we gonna go JC versus Chilla. That battle, crazy. The impact, crazy. Now that battle, the impact you got in that is that it made people want to rap how they was rapping. And like before them two, it was a lot of people weren't that bar heavy. Like them two, they made battle rap into like non-stop bars. Like that's the battle that kind of like popularized the bar fest. That was the first one. It kind of reinvented the small room. It had battlers wanting to get back in the small room a lot. And then you could just like look around in that room and see all the familiar faces and like their reactions and like to the bars. Like that battle is crazy. And of course it stood the test of time. That's still like a top 2, top 3, at least URL battle, probably battle of all time in general. Hitman versus John John, classic battle. You know why that's a classic? Another battle that's impactful, and that battle was extremely impactful for John John career. If you just look at the card, it was on Return of the Legends. You got a young up and comer, like not up and comer, because John John was around on Grind Time. He was making a name for himself, but he was kind of like coming out the PGs. He had a few battles removed from it, but he was up and coming. He on the card, all legends opening up. Nobody expected him to win, and he went in there and like they had battle of the night on the like probably the biggest card of all time, the best card of all time. And of course that battle stood the test of time. The quality in there is crazy. We got 6 dope rounds that just had everything that you wanted to see in it. Then you also got to look at the promo. Like everybody remember that video of them outside that hotel arguing back and forth. So that battle is another one that's a classic. So I got a question for y'all. Since I did say like quality is what makes a classic. Another thing that was on my mind was like battles that have like the real big impact and like shape the culture. And so we gonna go with like Hitman versus Ars. Is that a classic? Like, cause I didn't like none of Ars rounds in there like that, but that battle meant so much at the time. Like being at like the beginning or like the peak of the Midwest versus the Midwest versus the East Coast. Then you got like that's one of the first Christmas drops. Like one of the high, like the numbers on there is crazy. Like it's referenced so much to this day in the culture. Could that battle be considered a classic, or would it not be considered a classic because Ars didn't really do his part like quality wise? I wouldn't say his rounds was like horrible, but Hitman called a 30. Hitman rounds flawless. Ars rounds had a lot of stuff in there that I didn't like too much, but that's another battle where it got people invested in the culture. It put a lot of eyes on the culture. So would y'all consider that a classic? What battles do y'all think is classic? What makes a classic? Put y'all thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share. Again, I appreciate it. Catch up with y'all next time.